Alright, time for another special event weekly pack, and this time it is the mirror. So this toy, which you can see at the bottom of the screen, is probably the most interesting one they've added so far, because it opens up some achievements that were previously impossible to get. So here you can see I end up winning the turn 1, and the only unit left on my squad is the Golden Retriever. The opponent would then be able to copy the Golden Retriever because it was still on my board at the end of the battle using the mirror. Because we won turn 1, we don't get the opportunity to copy anything, but I am going to start losing sooner rather than later, so we will get to see the mirror in action. It basically works the same way as anglerfish, except instead of copying from their starting team, you're copying from whatever's left at the end of the battle. And this opens up a bunch of otherwise impossible achievements. So I'm sure there are a lot of people who are now scrambling to try and get as many as they can in the space of a week. I've got a few of them already. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to spend enough time on it to get them all. Some of them are much more difficult than others. You can see in the shop there we've got a rat. So yes, you can end up making sure that you give a dirty rat to the opposing team and then copying it onto your own squad. I guess you could actually just throw some rounds early deliberately in order to make sure that you get something to copy. As we win again with the doggo as the only survivor. But we get this double dromedary, so I'm going to take the level up. We get betta fish. And I think, yeah, I have been playing the groundhog at the back specifically to let other teams copy the retriever. But I think I've done that for enough turns now, so we're just going to set to work buffing up this swan. And I think Swan is one of the best things you can take in this pack. I mean, it's a very good unit anyway. But later on, we want to have as much gold as possible to maneuver and hopefully get all the chocolate that we need in order to get one of these secret achievements. Or I guess they're not secret, they're just previously unavailable achievements. So the double dromedary buffs the 2 tier 3 units in the shop there. So we get the free moth from our opponent because we lost, and we can just sell it to recover a bit of gold. If you copy a unit that you don't really care about, you just do the same thing you do with anglerfish where you cycle it anyway to get the gold back. Now we're going to stack Foo Dog here to put some buffs onto future shop units, and then we'll freeze the dromedary. So yeah, this team here, you can see they're playing the sneaky egg right at the front. And by doing that, it means that opposing teams are not going to be able to copy the cracked egg from them. So yeah, maybe think about that if you're trying to participate in this. If possible, try and play the special units closer to the back so that other people get the chance to steal them from you. There are definitely a decent number of people playing this weekly who are just treating it as a normal weekly, so they're not participating and trying to get any of the achievements. They're just farming wins off of everyone who has a golden retriever or a dirty rat. But I guess that's probably no different to any other weekly where there are always going to be people focusing mainly on farming victories. But I think it's still, not too big an ask to get some of these achievements, as long as you make sure you get the right pets onto your squad. So I think I'm just double checking the pack here. There are a few things that I definitely am looking for, although maybe because I'm on 4 hearts, I'm willing to save the level ups, or at least some of the level ups until turn 9. But I guess not. We're actually just going to take the level ups now. We get 2 blobfish, but I think we're going to pass them up. Keep the Nyala frozen and take the flashlight. And I think Nyala is one of those units that you're probably going to need if you're going to hang on to try and win with one of your secret pets. And Donkey is another one. Donkey is incredibly useful because Grizzly Bear is one of the obvious endpoints for a lot of teams, not just the teams that are trying to get the achievements, but teams that are just trying to win. And with the Donkey, as soon as the unit at the front faints, the Grizzly Bear will get pulled to the front of the squad and become completely useless. Of course, you can counterplay that if you play Grizzly 4th, but oftentimes if you do that, you're just going to waste or you miss out on Grizzly snipes when you match against a team that doesn't have Donkey. So we're greeting here because we won again. We're going to make sure we get an extra +3/3 onto both the donkey and the Nyala. Obviously, I'm thinking about Seagull a little bit there. We don't need to freeze another donkey because actually I think oftentimes level 2 donkey can be more of a hurt or a detriment to your team than level 1. This team has a Caterpillar at the back, so Butterfly is another one of those units that you can potentially get the achievement for. So once Caterpillar becomes a Butterfly at the end, as long as they play it at the back, you've got a decent chance of being able to copy it. Unfortunately, a lot of these units have a base stat line of 1-1, and there isn't really much in the way of shop scaling other than Foo Dog, which of course isn't going to work on the tokens. The token pets are considered tier 1s, so yeah, Foo Dog is not going to do anything for them. Another donkey, but we don't really need it. We'll take the chocolate on the Nyala, and then yeah, we'll freeze Alpaca, because there definitely are a few things that we wouldn't mind getting to level 2 very quickly. So if you're struggling to actually find any teams that have the tokens available for you to steal in the early turns, the other option is Anglerfish. So on tier 6, you can get Angler, you can use Alpaca to get it to a high level quickly. There's also Waffle. So if that person has maybe acquired a Golden Retriever, but they've been scaling up from the beginning, so they're actually playing it at the front, which is probably going to be the case for most people who manage to get one of the token units early doors, you can angle it instead. And I've actually seen quite a few people playing more than one of the token units, which is very brave indeed. And maybe we'll see that later in this video. So we end up getting a level 3 Nyala very quickly. And there actually is Mushroom as well. So Mushroom level 3 Nyala is a 48/48 summon. Okay, here's a good example here of a team that has Butterfly at the back. Or at least it's going to be at the back because we moved the other unit right to the front. Yeah, I think it was a second Caterpillar. Unfortunately there, having the level 3 Nyala actually made it impossible for us to lose the battle and therefore steal the Butterfly. So it didn't quite work out the way I was hoping for. So instead we'll just focus on setting up the Angler, and I'll just use a chocolate on it to get it to level 2. And then we'll probably roll for, okay, we'll take a Turtle buy sell just because it's free. You can also use Cockatrice like I do here to potentially turn something into a rock at the back of the opposing team, and then your mirror could steal said rock. But I think realistically here our best chance is Anglerfish, and so we're just going to keep freezing every angler we see, and then hope to face someone right near the end where we can get a bunch of Anglerfish triggers and potentially instant level 3 something without even really needing any chocolate. So we found one angler. We just need to roll for more anglers and Waffle. I think the fact that I got level 3 Nyala plus Mushroom here so early gives us a lot of leeway to just completely greed, and I think I'm just going to go the whole turn. Yeah, there's another one. There is Pancakes. Maybe I should have forgotten about buying that. With 4 hearts left and we're on 8 trophies already, we really need this next team to actually have something. And it is Kyogre with a 1-1 doggo at the front of the team. So that's obviously not going to work for the mirror, but it is going to work for the Anglerfish. And I think we, depending on the ant hits here, yeah, we actually end up winning anyway. I think we could have lost there if the ants had buffed each other, but instead they all buffed the gibbon at the back. So the first angle we get double retriever. The second angle we get another double retriever. So we've got to be careful here because we can end up overflowing the shop. So we're just going to freeze everything. I think in the end here I'm going to sell the Cockatrice first. It's only a level 1, although it does have Pancakes. We have 4 hearts as well, so we can rebuild our team if we end up becoming too weak as a result of selling it. So yeah, we take the level up. We only need one more angle on the doggo to get to level 3, and we get it again. So very lucky sequence there. And in the space of 1 turn, we get the level 3 doggo. You can see in the shop there's actually Quetzalcoatl as well, which is very useful for leveling the tokens. But we've also got 4 oysters here. So I'm going to use the waffle anyway, sell the angler, and then buy-sell all this stuff, including the oysters for another 4 gold back. I think there I briefly considered level 2ing the oyster before selling it, but instead we're just actually going to bring in a second doggo and give pancakes to the existing one. So yeah, I'm kind of gambling here that the level 3 Nyala with mushroom is going to be good enough. It is turn 13, so it is still very early. And the donkey could potentially ruin a grizzly bear team. And would you look at that? It's grizzly bear. We lose the swan, and the grizzly is immediately going to be hauled to the front. They do have ox, but again, Nyala 1-up is 48-48 summon, which is incredibly difficult to deal with. And we get the win with the double retriever. So yeah, it did take a fair few attempts to actually get some of these achievements, but I was very relieved to have at least one in the tank for a video. I'm sure I'll try again for some of the more difficult ones later in the week. But in the meantime, here's another clip from a different run. You can see I've got the dirty rat at the front here. I was trying to set up a tamarin to sell onto something else. You know, if you manage to scale up a tamarin, that can definitely help mitigate the very poor starting stats of a lot of these token units. But then look at this. We end up matching someone who has a sloth. And they have kindly played the sloth right at the back. So since we lose on that turn, the mirror gives us a chance to copy a sloth. And so we managed to grab it. It is a 1-1 stat line, which is a bit unfortunate. Yeah, I think I'm going to sell the tamarin onto it to make it a 2-2, 100% increase there. And then we'll just take double manatee and start buffing it. It is kind of bizarre to think, you know, here we have a team with the rarest pet in the game, plus a pet that was previously impossible to obtain in the shop. So yeah, I'm not really holding out much hope here, having both Dirty Rat and Sloth on the team, but we might as well give it a try. And it's a 3-squad Snail plus Retriever. Yeah, their team was pretty terrible, but mine was even worse. So we end up losing immediately. We managed to copy a Cyclops since it was the only unit they had left. Might as well take this Manatee here. Our team is in such rough shape. We don't really have any combat abilities at all other than the caramel on the rat at the front. So it's looking pretty bleak. I think here I should probably sell Cyclops and buy the Stingray. Okay, we're going to rearrange. Oh, wow, I'm taking Highland Cow, which is pretty optimistic. Honestly, I think it probably doesn't make any difference what I do here. This run is dead in the water. And we actually match with someone else who has double token. They've got the 1-1 Retriever and the 2-1 Rock at the back. But they do have some decent units on their team with the Falcon and the Turtle. And so the Sloth run comes to an end. Actually, the Falcon gets to copy a Sloth as well. Do let me know if you manage to angle my Sloth and keep it alive just a little bit longer.